If a guy slaps a girl's butt at a bar, he, at the very least, gets kicked out of that bar. But if a woman slaps a guy's butt, he's supposed to man up and like it because he's lucky. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is the very first part 2. We are talking about 10 more double standards that men hate in relationships. Honestly, guys, when I was doing this, I brainstormed this list within 5 minutes. It really did not take much because there are so many double standards out there. I actually have another 20 written down that I could do more videos on. If you guys like this kind of content, make sure to like and comment, and I will make this a series. The 10 double standards that I'm doing today, guys, is very much relationship focused. So keep that in mind. They are not in any particular order today. So hang in there because the last 2 are just short, sweet, simple. And I think that you will totally agree. But as always, you can always comment any disagreements or any other double standards that you are completely frustrated with and completely done with. Please include them and I might put them into my next video. With that being said, guys, let's start off with number 1. A woman can Google map a man's house. She can become friends with his mother. She can figure out where he might be in order to run into him. And it's just her looking him up. But a man that does this is a stalker. That's right. This was exactly what one young woman did in a video that I stitched. But she even took it to a whole nother level when she even found out what book club his mother was part of so that she could join and meet her so that they could get talking and the mom could end up trying to set them two up on a blind date. This woman, to me, was obviously taking it too far, but it was actually received well by a lot of women and men. But we all know that 100% of people would not receive a man doing this as okay. He would end up in court. Number 2, if a woman takes a day off to herself, it's self-care. But if a man takes a day off for himself, he's being lazy and needs to toughen up. This is seen not only in men's personal lives, but also in his work life, where he seems to need to give a reason for why he's asking for a day off. Even when it's for something fun on his end, it will be because his girlfriend or wife has something planned for him to do. Whereas if a woman needs a break, she can take a mental health day, and she is praised for taking care of herself. Number 3, a woman can just be friends with a man. But a man cannot just be friends with a woman because it's assumed that he actually wants something more with that woman. This is not true. Like, there actually can be platonic friendships between a man and a woman, but what is key is that there's no flirting with the boundaries of friendship. A lot of men would also say that those lines would easily never be crossed with a woman that he doesn't find attractive. A lot of times you'll see completely platonic friendships between two people that do not find each other attractive. Now, another sub double standard is when women think that it's acceptable to stay close friends with an ex because it's just platonic. But she would never be okay with her man staying friends with an ex because it must mean that he still wants her. Number 4, a woman that wants to be in a relationship should never need to change herself. But a man that wants to be in a relationship needs to change for the relationship to work. This is such a widely accepted one. And look, I do believe that there should naturally be some small changes that occur for each individual to come together in a relationship because there should be some room for compromise, right? Like, you shouldn't be going in rigid, like, this is who I am and I'm not changing at all. Like, that rigidity will fight against you. It'll be very difficult to be in a relationship if you're coming into it like that. And honestly, from my perspective, having that flexibility is what makes relationships fun and exciting. It's what allows you to go into a relationship and allow yourselves to grow together, and you can actually become better because of that other person. But for a lot of women, they do come into the relationship very rigid, and they're not willing to change because they're not seeing it the same way. They're not seeing it as growth. They will just say that he should love her for who she is. Number 5. Ooh, you guys are going to totally agree with this one, I think. If a guy slaps a girl's butt at a bar, he, at the very least, gets kicked out of that bar. But if a woman slaps a guy's butt, he's supposed to man up and like it because he's lucky. This runs deeper, even into sexual assault cases, where men are generally not respected for coming forward with their story when the predator is female. Men are actually all too often shamed for taking issue with any kind of sexual assault from a woman, even going as far as being called gay or too sensitive, which is so messed up on so many levels because men do have a sexual filter and they don't just want to receive anything from anyone. Number 6, a woman can pick out physical things about her man that she wants to change, and it's just her wanting to improve him. But if a man picks out physical things about his woman that he wants her to change, he's mean, superficial, and is only interested in her body. I personally would never want to pick out physical things that I wanted my man to change because I honestly think those things don't really matter. Like if he wants to wear his boots till the sole is falling out, I don't care unless he cares. And in that case, I would just buy him a new pair. But I'll never understand when a woman starts dating a man and then goes through like eliminating stuff from his closet that she thinks that he shouldn't wear anymore. Like, especially when that's a person, that man attracted you enough to be in a relationship in the first place. Number 7, when a woman doesn't want to date the short guy, it's a preference. But when a guy doesn't want to date a girl that's overweight, he's an a-hole that is not focused on the right things that matter. The bottom line is that everyone is allowed to have dating preferences. And as long as we aren't out there shaming others for what they aren't, it's okay. But honestly, even if there are people out there vocalizing all of their preferences, there's no reason to be triggered because who cares if you don't fit into that one person's preference? Because the bottom line is that those preferences are going to be different from person to person. And honestly, what I have seen on social media is that men tend to not be triggered. They understand that this is one individual woman that is talking about her preferences. And when women see the reverse of that and they're seeing a man talk about his preferences, they will just flood the comments and they will all be triggered and take up issue and take it a step further and really shame that man for vocalizing anything of the sort. Number 8, when a woman sets a boundary, it's empowering. But when a man sets a boundary, it's controlling. For example, if a woman wants her man to share his location and check in with her every so often when he goes out with friends, that's him respecting her and their relationship. But when a man requests this from his lady before she goes out for a girls' night, even if his lady totally respects this, there will be some of her female friends that she's out with that will see it as controlling. Number 9, when a woman talks about her problems, a man should listen and be her support. But the minute a man has problems, he shouldn't burden her because she's not his therapist. Do I even need to explain that one? Probably not. Let's move on. Number 10, when a woman is selfish, good for her for putting herself first. But when a man is selfish, he's a narcissist. I said what I said. As always, guys, leave a comment if you agree or disagree. You know me, I always respect your opinion. And I'm looking forward to making this a series. I'll see you next week.